Hi guys, so it's reading wrap-up time for the month of December. December was much like November in that I didn't read a crazy amount. I read 3 books. So this should be quite a short and snappy one. I read 2 physical books, 1 novella and 1 poetry collection, and I listened to a non-fiction book on audiobook. So first the non-fiction book, because that's the one I finished first. And that was Amy Poehler's book, Yes Please. This is somewhat an autobiography. It's a collection of different chapters on different experiences in Amy Poehler's life, spanning childhood through the development of her career as a comedian to motherhood, and it was just good, light-hearted fun. I wasn't a sort of Amy Poehler die-hard fan, but I'd heard really good things about Yes Please, and I was looking for a fun, engaging, light-hearted non-fiction audiobook. So I decided to go for this one, you know, why not, give it a shot. And I really enjoyed myself. It certainly didn't change my life, but I enjoyed listening to it, and what more can I really ask for? And most importantly, it inspired me to finally go and watch Parks and Recreation. I'd watched the first season of Parks and Recreation in the past and thought it was alright, but not really got into it. But even from the way Amy Poehler talked about the series, it just got better and better as it went on, and that's also what I'd been hearing from other people, so I thought, hey, I'll give it another chance, and I'm so glad I did, because I have been watching it all month now and I'm almost finished the entire thing and I've been really enjoying myself. So I'm very grateful to the book for having inspired me to go and watch the TV show. Amy Poehler is a generally very endearing woman, and I enjoyed listening to her talk about her life, and there was some fun little guest audio snippets in the audiobook that you wouldn't get from the physical book, although the physical book does have pictures, so I guess you have to decide whether you want pictures or random pieces of narration by Patrick Stewart. That's something you need to decide for yourself. But I do enjoy when a comedian's book or a memoir type book is read by the author, especially for comedians. The next book I read though was The Arrival of Missives by Elia Whiteley, and I've actually posted a review of this on my blog. I really enjoyed this. I sped right through it in the space of 2, maybe 3 days. I enjoyed it even more than I was expecting to. I'd previously read Elia Whiteley's other novella The Beauty and some of her short stories, and I adored her prose. I thought her imagination was incredibly creative, but I also found The Beauty incredibly disturbing, and it gave me nightmares. Like, quite literally gave me nightmares. So I was a little bit apprehensive going into this that I would have a similar experience. This retains the author's beautiful writing, incredibly out there and creative imagination, as well as some of the unsettling darkness of the other works of hers I've read, but it was certainly not as unnerving as The Beauty or even the short stories by her I'd read. It follows our protagonist Shirley, who lives in rural Britain just after the First World War in the 1920s. She's just finishing up her schooling, and right from the outset of the story we're made aware that she has feelings for her teacher, who's around 24, she's 17, and she decides that she will go to visit her teacher after school to express her feelings to him, and I won't say any more than that. But the story itself is very fast moving and full of surprises, so that's why I don't want to say anything more about the plot. But although what I've just told you makes it very much sound like a period novel, perhaps even a romance, it's actually best categorised as speculative fiction and could easily be described as science fiction. Although if you're not into science fiction particularly and you don't like things like, you know, War of the Worlds and intense alien invasions, that kind of thing, you could very well still enjoy this novel. Because like I said, it's more speculative than it is like battles between aliens and the human race. It's just really wacky and weird, but done really well. I would recommend this to both people who enjoy John Wyndham, but also people that enjoy Jane Austen, to be honest. I really liked this book and the combination of different things that it was. It was very unique, and I will continue to pick up Elijah Whiteley's work in the future. She's a really great writer. And lastly, I read the collection of poetry Proper Propaganda by Benjamin Zephaniah, who's one of my all-time favourite poets. This is very, very much political poetry with a heavy focus on racism, but also other forms of discrimination and political oppression. It's a variety of different poems, and some of them dealing with specific events, some of which I wasn't as familiar with as others, because these poems deal with events going back a couple of decades as well. There is also a number criticising politicians and with anti-war sentiments, and generally stuff I agree with, so I generally really enjoyed this collection. It's a poet I love talking about stuff I find really important, and in his own unique voice as always. Benjamin Zephaniah's poetry feels like music, and it's wonderful to hear him perform it if you can find any of those performances on YouTube, because I think it makes all the difference and brings it to life in a completely different way. But even just reading them, I found them very impactful and moving. Some of the poems themselves are even inspired by specific songs, so that might be something that interests you. Always love Benjamin Zephaniah, will always recommend his poetry. Those are all the books I read in December though. I have recently started The Butcher's Hook by Deborah Ellis though, and I'm really enjoying that one. Do let me know if you have any thoughts on the books I've mentioned in this video, and until next time guys, happy reading, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye!